Y'all know how I am with this equipment. So, greetings. It's your hostess with the mostest goddess, Seara. And this is really an impromptu moment for grown folks business. But I'm coming in from the gym. I look a whole mess, but I'm telling you, I worked my entire body. Greetings, Goddess Terrific. Greetings, Goddess Natalie. I can see you lovely ladies. This is really an impromptu moment. It's not Tuesday, but there are some things spiritually that need to be dealt with the moment that you become aware of them. And so I'm not really going to wait for people to come on to anything. I'm going to say what needs to be said, and then you all can watch it accordingly or whatever is there for you. Your 2 minutes of power can be someone's lifetime of pain. And I'm not going to take away from the fact that women experience rape, but so do men. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I need people who have experienced this to understand that your empowerment comes from self. Someone attempting to take your power and put you in another position only happens when you allow that space in your life. Greetings, Goddess Terrific. And so, as you all know, I have experienced sexual molestation and violent rape in my life. However, it does not affect me anymore because I'm effectual in dealing with the infection that came from that affect in my life. And so the things that you don't effectually deal with will affect you because you've been infected, and you must understand that. And how you allow that dis-ease, that lack of comfort to spread in your life. Greetings, King Darwin. How you allow that infection to spread in your life is totally up to you. Now, many people could get wroth with anger right here, but because I'm a woman who's actually experienced this and went through 17 years of molestation and then a violent gang assault in the military that caused me to have to medically retire at the age of 20 years old with a traumatic brain stem injury. You understand what I'm saying? I can speak about this space. However, for years, I allowed the infection of my dis-ease, of my lack of comfort to govern my responses, my reactions, my situations with people in public, and how I was a ball of fear-based energy, afraid of the world, afraid that it was going to get me raped. This is how I lived my life, in this perpetual fear. And I want to call out to any woman, any man, any transgender, any transsexual, any homosexual, any pansexual, whatever you want to identify your sexuality as. I want to call out to you that if you've experienced sexual trauma, movements like Me Too, and they don't work because they only access your pain. In order for you to access your power, you need to first come with an understanding of forgiveness for yourself, for being too weak to withstand what was happening to you. What I found out for years is that I was very, very angry because I wasn't strong enough to fight off my attackers. I wasn't strong enough mentally to not believe that you weren't really going to kill my mom. You weren't really going to hurt my brother. You didn't do anything. You just put your power upon me and you stole from a child. I have survived, and I am happy, and I love my life, and I thank you for fulfilling your contract in my life and teaching me how to find my pleasure in spite of painful experiences. But there are some of us who have not gone there. Listen, you need to take back your life. When you are hitting rock bottom in every space in your career, in your love life, in your personal life, in the raising of your children, when you are falling apart in every aspect of your life, you've got to take back your authority. This moment, I told you it was 17 years, but I've lived longer than that. I'm 46. I spent so many years dwelling on that space of pain when I could have been dwelling in a space of power. I want you all to understand that if you've been raped, it was but a moment of someone trying to place their authority in your life. Rape is not about sex. Rape is about control. Rape is about power. Rape is about somebody taking what they want from you. It's a power struggle. It's not a sexual struggle. We know that people can have sex anywhere. For those of you who are out here raping and trying to exercise your power upon people, you are not only powerless, but you are pitiful, okay? You are powerless and you are pitiful. And because you know that, you think that you have to physically harm someone to show your manhood or your lack of manhood or your femininity, your womanhood or your lack thereof of womanhood. We've got women out here raping children now. Listen, because you don't have, greetings, Goddess Renee, because you don't have the faculties to be with a grown man, stay off your students, stay off these children, allow these children to grow into their sexuality. Don't prey upon kids, women. You know, we got more female teachers sleeping with children now, and we still want to be harping about men. Let's stop this. You got to take the time to go within and heal. You can't be manipulating children out here. You can't climb into your stepdaughter's bed. You filthy, filthy, filthy vermin. You can't meet women. I met a young woman some years ago that met a man, and he molested every single one of her 4 daughters, from the youngest to the oldest. And when she was sitting crying to me, I thought to myself, what part of you did you actually think that this man wanted? Now, see, this is a real conversation. You all think, God is Seara, this is terrible. But no, it's not. This is factual. When you've got young daughters that you need to protect, this is real information. So if you are not caring for yourself as a woman, if you don't even comb your hair, and you don't even put on clothes that look like you have employment or even a home, but you have 4 young girls and some man miraculously wants to date you, you got to be suspect with that. Why? Because you're not dating and taking care of yourself. So the likelihood that a gentleman is just going to come and never require that you fix yourself up or do anything, he wants something else. And I know this because I had a mother who was suffering from schizophrenia. And there were people that showed up in her life because they wanted her daughter. That she always talked about, I have one beautiful daughter. My daughter's so beautiful. She would always promote my attraction, and it would bring forth some people that wanted to take her up on the offer. They didn't realize she wasn't selling me. She was just proud of me. You understand what I'm saying? And so if you have a young daughter and you're not a woman who's operating in self-love, the likelihood of a man showing up to love you is slim to none. But him showing up to molest your daughters, yeah, that's probably 100% accurate. I know that because 17 years with multiple people in my home. Okay. My mother wasn't in the faculties to pay attention. My mother was suffering from the effects of her molestation. Okay. So I need you all, if you all have been what they have told you, which is victimized, you are not a victim. You've had an experience. If you choose to allow that experience to take you to the lowest places in life, you are victimizing yourself. You've had an experience and it could have been awful. And you can see that experience over and over again, but you have way more joy available for you. Way more joy available for you in the moments that you're willing to forgive yourself for not being strong enough to stop that event. We just aren't strong enough. We're not. We cannot physically overpower a man. I don't know if you all remember years ago when Gary Coleman punched that woman over a counter. And you're like, little Gary Coleman? Gary Coleman was a man. Okay? So we must understand that our power and our authority belongs to us. If we choose to give that to another person by staying in fear-based energy, by staying in anger, by staying in unforgiveness, by staying in bitterness, by staying in self-hatred, by staying in people hatred, that's the space that we're putting ourselves in. And Goddess Seara is saying this today because I've encountered some things today that really, really hurt. I'm seeing people that I love not be able to recover from sexual assault. And it hurts. And it hurts me because I know that I recovered from it. And I know that everyone can recover from it. It's a terrible thing that happens on this planet. It is. I don't know if some of you goddesses are on here with me have never experienced it. But I sat down today and I tried to think of a woman that I know that hasn't experienced it. And I didn't have one. I didn't have one. Almost every woman that I served in the army with experienced it. Many sisters at my ministry experienced it. In some way, shape, fashion, or form, they've experienced some form of sexual assault. We need to be teaching our children what is appropriate. There's no more of this, boys will be boys. Listen, boys don't rape. Boys don't hurt. 17 years old, God is terrific. Rape. You see? And thank you, Goddess, for standing with me and saying that, but that's your power. That's your power. Nobody gets to take your power. Greetings, Goddess Sabrina. Nobody gets to take your power. That word used to say, I used to see women say, Goddess Renee molested at 4. You know, this is a heartbreaking space. And I am not in tears because of any memories. I'm in tears because I'm hurt to know that you too have experienced it. I'm tired of this space. I'm tired of this space affecting and infecting us and having all of the effect on us. I just want to know a person that it hasn't happened to, you know? But when I know the people that it has happened to, I have so much more love and compassion in my heart because I finally realized that I wasn't the only one. I wasn't alone. There was another little girl with her face in the pillow like me. There was another young girl on her knees asking God. I put on my Catholic school uniform every day and I asked God to be able to go to bed without a lingam in my mouth or between my legs or in my rectum. You know, because I grew up in the 70s, men were smarter rapers back then. They didn't really, peace to the God, Abdul, peace. They didn't really touch your yoni. When I lost my vaginal virginity, it was through manipulation, but it was my own choice. I was there for it. And not manipulation from the man. I loved the man. It was through me manipulating because I thought that sex was what kept a man. Okay? So I can own that space. When I gave my virginity, relatively speaking, meaning the hymen away, I did that through the sexual energy that had been taught to me for all of those years. Well, the way to keep a man and the way to have a man is to entice a man. And so I did that to a young man, and then he took that yoni and he left. You see what I'm saying? He didn't stay with me. I didn't understand because I did what my molester taught me, right? Why am I getting left? And then I spent a lifetime being left because my level of brokenness, no king could handle. Couldn't handle it. I needed to deal with it. And so this is not really a service call of bashing, you know, molestation and rape and everything. What I'm asking us to do is stop allowing this to keep us in a space of death. We've got to rise out of the ashes like the phoenix and say enough is enough. Some of us been raped by our own fathers, by our own grandfathers. Thank you, King. Thank you. I appreciate that. By our own grandfathers, by our own cousins. We want to talk so much about the white man, but I can tell you about the black man. I can tell you about that. I can tell you that that has hurt me more than anything. Is to have so much respect and love for a man. I love a black man. Oh God, I do. It's the only man that I ever love. Is a man that has the reflection of my melanin. It's not an offense to white men. I'm not attracted to you all. You know, I love what makes me proud. I love what, as a child, was in every household on my street. I didn't see a lack of fathers until the late 80s, early 90s. I grew up in the 70s where all of us had a dad. You know, but I love a black man, but there's a level of pain that comes from loving you all. And you all, you get angry with us because we show you that pain. But we have been raped. We have been molested. We have been used. We have been mistreated. There's so much to us that you all do not understand. And I'm sorrowful that we haven't been able to give it to you in a way that you could embrace us. You know, we have a lot of hurt, a lot of hurt. We have a lot of disappointment, and it's not your fault. We showed up for it because we didn't love ourselves, because when we were supposed to be learning love, we were being force-fed self-hatred. It's something that is huge in our community. I told you, I'm Puerto Rican in Hollywood. And in my culture, we love babies but hate children. Peace, goddess. We hate children. Ay, mi amor, te amo, mi bebé. Ay, gracias, mira, Dios, dame un bebé. We love our babies, and then as soon as they start walking around and getting an opinion, we start with that rah-rah. You're just like your father. You're going to be nothing. You're making me sick. I don't want it. You know, sit down somewhere. You're like your grandfather. We start putting things on them, you know. And so my whole life, I was getting two impressions of me that weren't my own. And when I got ready to have a man, I heard my mother's words. You're too much of everything. Just sit down somewhere, and whatever man finds you. I feel you, Goddess Divine. She said, I just got finished crying in my closet. You know? If a king sees this, we need y'all to show up in a different way. We need y'all to show up in a different way. It's really not about sex anymore. That crap is old, for real. It isn't about that. It isn't about being able to make us feel a certain way between our legs. We need to feel something between our breasts. We need to feel something here. We need to feel something here. You know, gone are the days where we're looking for a feel-good screw. Man, that's not even the case. We need you all to show up a different way. It's not a space where we want to be called queen and then get treated like trash. It's a lot of talk in our community, but where are the leaders? Where are the men? Show up in our lives, because we're not getting this right. I love you too, Goddess. We're not getting this right. We're screwing up our kids. We're trying to be mothers and fathers. And we're trying to do all of that broken. Do you all understand that? We're trying to do it all broken, and it's just breaking our children. It's breaking our families. We need you all to show up. How many of us do you need to sleep with? Come on now. How many of us do you need to leave with children? How many kids do you need to have the same age a certain time of the year? We're so much more than that. We're so much more than that. Why do they think that we're nothing? Why do they kill us in the street like trash? They do that because of our behaviors. Stop blaming. When you act like savages, you get treated like savages. It's iron sharpeneth iron. It's karma. When you act like nothing, you get treated like nothing. What you walking around with your butt crack showing for? Are you selling your butt? What you walk around with your hair all over your head, not combed, talking about the white man? Are you a slave? Why are you out here looking like a pickaninny? These are the impressions that they've left on our planet. And so when you don't want, and I'm not saying be a conformist but when you don't want to conform to the basic aspects of hygiene, what do you expect people to treat you like? Do you expect to actually be employed? You can't. These are not irrational spaces. Our spirituality has been stolen. Guess what? But we have the authority and the right to take it back. We still want to argue amongst ourselves about what somebody else believes. It doesn't matter how my worship looks. What do you care about it as long as your worship is right? We're arguing over stupid things. Is Muhammad real? Is Jesus real? Is Buddha real? Guess what? We never met none of them. Don't matter. What matters are the lessons that are available to us working in our life. That's what matters. We can talk about 4,000 years ago. We can talk about 2,000 years ago. We can talk about 400 years ago. We can talk about 400 minutes ago. But at the end of the day, brother, it's still us. We can keep talking about what was stolen from us, or we're going to talk about what we're going to do about it. That's the space that I'm at, because I don't want to see my son, my beloved sons, being anything less than great. I'm worried about my 11-year-old. He's getting ready to be 11. I'm worried about my son. I'm worried about when I have to put the wrong energy in myself to deal with him because I don't know what to do. I don't know what's right. I need a man to show up and do what's right in his life. And I don't know how to do that. And when I take on that energy of a man, my son despises me. Because that's not what he wants from his mother. And I hate every time I have to do it. And while his dad is in Iraq, I need somebody to show up for me. I'm tired of every man saying, does he play sports? No, he doesn't. Does that matter? Are you not going to love him? He doesn't because his mother doesn't. Okay? I don't understand that stuff and it's cold outside. Why are we out here with a ball? I don't get that. Because I'm a girl, you know. Abdul says, same space. I'm raising 2 daughters and 4 sons. One turned 13 today. Happy birthday, son. Goddess Tosh says, it's so ill how every time you get on here, you're speaking directly to me. That's because it's spirit, Goddess. You know, I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because it was impromptu for me because I don't have it all together. You know, I come on here and teach. You know, King, I've been trying to understand chess myself because I wanted him to learn that strategy. And I'm struggling. And I would like someone who knows how to play that if I could even get on it and learn some things. You know, the King Joseph says, on behalf of every melanated man who has not given up on the sisters, I do apologize for the pain and the anguish that we have caused. Thank you, sisters, for not giving up on us. We have not given up on you. We love you. Thank you, Joseph. That's beautiful. And for every king like that, I just love you. And I thank you so much for it. You know, Goddess Seara I am me. I'm authentic. I can't be anything but myself. I will sit on here and I'll cry, I'll do whatever because I'm a spirit-led woman. You know, my emotions are forward because I'm getting tired of the lies. I'm getting tired of all of this hashtag my best life, living my life. Like, stop lying. If you were living your best life, you'd have some money in the bank, you Bama. Shut up with them lies. You's out here spending money for people to look at your silly behind. You out here doing things that you don't have no business and you ain't even paid your light bill, you trifling. Stop that. We got to stop feeding into the system that is making us lose ourselves. These are lies. We are struggling out here with self. And when you struggle with self, you're going to struggle financially. You're going to struggle emotionally. You're going to struggle spiritually. You're going to struggle everywhere because you're struggling with self. Stop lying. I am not willing to get on here and lie. I'm not. I'm struggling with my kids. I am one woman. I'm one woman and I don't have the male counterpart. You know, many of y'all know I'm going through a divorce. And some people, when they divorce you, they divorce your children, even though they their children. And you got to allow that space. You got to allow that space because the only way that my children can receive their father is when he heals. You know what I'm saying? You all think that I had a good husband. You know, he was in war a little bit too long. They kept him in Iraq, Afghanistan a little bit too long, you know, and there's some things that he just doesn't have anymore. He's struggling with self, and I respect that. But will another man show up for that man and not try to screw me, but just show up because that man needs you to show up for his kids while he's struggling with himself? You know? Will that man show up? I know we don't have kids, brother. I know we don't have goats. I know they children. I say kids because it's easy. You see what I'm saying? But will another king show up while the other king is on hiatus? Do I got to give you my body for you to do that? Come on now. Will you show up in my life without me having to screw you? Is that possible? Because when I stop screwing you, you ain't going to show up. So how about you just show up in authenticity and help me? How about you do a pickup? How about you get to know me? And how about you do all that without being a pervert? We're scared to give you our sons. Look at the Boy Scouts of America. Look at the YMCA. Come on, they got songs about it. You know, what you can do with all these men at the Y. We're scared to put our children in things because we know what happened to us. We understand what happened to us. I protect my daughter with fierceness. I will kill you if you touch my child. If I think you touch her, see, so I got to keep her. But that's not healthy. She's not getting to actually live. I see her fighting for her independence because I'm trying to protect her yoni. I'm trying to protect her innocence. Goddess Divine says when a man is not developing a positive relationship with your children, but the blinders were on for too long, now I side-eye, right? King Abdul, where do you live? I live in Maryland, King. He says, I would love for our clan to help your clan. I would love it. I am the mother of all mothers, I tell you, but I suck as a daddy. I'm terrible because for some reason I think that a father is some type of wolf ticket selling masculine energy. I'm screwing it up, everybody. I don't know what it is. I'm screwing it up. I'm yelling at my son. I'm getting in his face. He doesn't want that from me. I'm his mother. And I'm turning into a psychopath in front of him because I'm trying to control what I can't control. I'm trying to control his growth. This boy is 10 years old. He wears a size 10 shoe. He's almost 5'6" or so. I guess he's big. You know, he's a big dude. And I'm trying to govern him like a dude, and I suck. Yes, Abdul, we suck as fathers. Goddess Sabrina, you live in Maryland too. Nice knowing Mother. Yes, I just got here. I've been here a month. I'm in Rockville. And so, yes, we definitely connect, inbox me, you know. But I'm not on here to stand on a soapbox. If anybody feels how I feel, I appreciate you standing with me. Anybody understands, for years, my sexual trauma was my sexual torment. It messed me up. I was not only a prude, but I was promiscuous. What? How does that happen? But I was a snob and promiscuous at the same time. I was trying to find a man that would show up. See, you all think the word promiscuity means like slut. No, I was innocent. I wanted someone to love my pain. You all think that calling us whores and sluts hurts. It doesn't hurt anymore than what's going on the inside. We can take those words because we just need somebody to hold us for a minute for what hurts. We don't get to hug you all. In order for us to hug you and to smell your cologne and lay in your strength, we got to screw you. Y'all are making the rules. We're not making the rules, King Abdul says he might be my other self strong. That book big. I'm just like, I can't with you, Goddess Tasha says, I literally went through this 20 minutes ago with my son, same age. It's rough, Thank you, Ram. Thank you. It's rough out here. I gave my body to so many men that promised to show up for my son. I wasn't a whore. You just whored me out. You knew what I needed. You knew I needed help. I couldn't raise a man. But it cost me everything. It cost me everything. My self-worth, my self-esteem, my self-care, my self-love, myself. Brothers, we don't need you all to exercise 2 minutes of power over us. We need your support. We're tired of giving you our pain. We don't want to hate on y'all no more. We don't want to mistreat y'all anymore. We're tired. We just want y'all to show up and stay from between our legs to help us. Help don't require that. It doesn't require that. Help requires that you give us what we ask for. Can you take my son and teach him how to play basketball and I don't have to bend my butt over at 9 o'clock when you get back? Can you do that? Can you take my son and teach him how to take care of himself as a man? And can you not touch my child to do that? Can you help me be a better mother by showing up while his father is absent and I don't have to give you my body to do that? You think that women enjoy saying, I'm the mama and the daddy? It's a stupid place when it comes out of our mouth. That's why we say it with such anger. It's stupid. We know we're not men. That's masculine energy overtaking us. Everybody wants to know what's wrong with black men, they say. Well, they have black mothers, okay? And we're broken, and we're hurt, and we don't know how to make you all better. You end up in prison. You end up in the grave. You end up in jail. Thank you, Goddess. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. We end up not knowing what to do. And all we do is get bitter and angry. Goddess Tasha says, I'm searching for words to express how dope you are for this right now. But thank you. That works, Goddess. Abdul King says, I'm in Pennsylvania, so can we get together and work something out? I feel as though you can help me out and I can get the son. We have to figure it out. Yeah, Pennsylvania up the street. Because my wife would kill me twice and bring me back to ask what was my problem. I got you. Yes, it's not far. My son is angry right now because it's all women in my family. I'm like a family of just women with masculine energy. My son hates it. Hey, Goddess. Hey, Valerie. My My son hates that. He says, I'm sick of being around all these women, all these people. I will, thank you. I will. And so, this is really, I'm crying, because I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired of pretending. I don't want to pretend. I want to be my best self. And my best self produces healthy, amazing, powerful children. I was talking to my son today, my oldest, and I was looking at what was around him. And I was saying to myself, you don't see that you set yourself in the enemy's camp. He wouldn't listen to anything I said. Why? Because he was with men. And these men don't mean him any good. But he can't see that because he just needs that masculine energy. And I said to him, son, I realize that I can't tell you anything else because you think that this is love. And unfortunately, you're going to have to go through it, but it don't mean you any good, baby. As he said, that's my family. Out of the grandkids, it's all girls and 2 boys. It was a lot of high masculinity energy among the women. Yeah, my family is a bunch of dudes with yonis. I hate to say that. I love you all, my aunts and everything. Don't get angry. It's a bunch of females that are dudes. Beat a man to the ground, snatch a man up, body slam that book of work. Listen, the women in my family, myself included, can beat a man like no other. It's sad. Yeah, I got you, Goddess Tasha. Yes. King Abdul says that energy is driving him crazy. Trust me, I know. That's how I grew up. Running to the stores for stockings, pads, nail polish. Never cared because it had to be done. Yeah, And I'm trying. I realized Spirit told me today, you can't raise a man, but you can raise Cain. Hello. You can raise disobedience. Leave that boy alone. Leave that boy. And I was heartbroken because I'm trying to see my son to manhood, but it's going to take a man. I appreciate that. Goddess Valerie says, I had the same issue, but I promise it'll get better. Greetings, King Dane. And God, it'll get better. You know how many kings I talked to that said to me, I wish I knew what to do, Goddess, but I ain't have a father either. Well, then guess what? You know what not to do. You know what not to do. You don't have to know what to do when you know what not to do. We got to stop with these excuses. This codependent behavior of, well, I'm going to let another young man go to jail because I don't know what to do. You know what not to do. You know how to listen, I had everybody in my neighborhood on my behind as a kid. What is all this? Mind my business. No, we got to get back to community, communal unity. We got to get back to that space. Why are we all crying alone when we can do something about this? We don't have to cry anymore. Take your mouth and your mind off of what you keep calling the white man and get on your own life. I'm tired of hearing that 400 years ago mess. I am. We are being slaves right now. Falling in line. Listen. We keep these folks rich. We don't want to support one another. But every time you look up, you got Louis Vuitton's purse, Michael Kors purse, somebody. Come on now, stop it. Some Ralph Lauren's coat, Ralph Lauren's clothes, but you pro-black, stop that. You pro-appearance. You want somebody to worship your appearance. You're not. The business that I have, I can't get half of you to support me, but you always want something for free, but you don't want to pay, and people don't respect free. But my Caucasian sisters, they come right over here and they pay and they love me and they treat me with respect and they tell everybody. All of the other ones who have come and got readings and stuff from me will tell me privately, Goddess Seara, I've never had a reading like that in my life, but they're not going to tell another person. One young lady told me the other day, oh, I don't tell nobody about you because everybody that follows me thinks I have all my stuff together and I keep it that way. They don't know that I have you and I don't want them to know. I can't deal with you, sweetie. You can't be a client of mine anymore. I can't deal with you. You got to go. Bye-bye. I can't. What kind of mentality is that? And why did I attract that? Where am I selfish at? Spirit, show me. I got to find that. Valerie says, my son is 16 and he went through it but came out fine, and I'm so proud of him. What you put in him from birth will not depart. Yeah, that's what the scripture tells us. The problem is when it doesn't leave, the problem is the decisions that get him to go back to what shouldn't have departed in the first place. As it says, my brother's dad was present but not active. Or Mr. Brother, or is that, okay, yeah. My brother dad was present but not active. It took him to graduate high school and go with that side of the family to get his balance, right? Yeah, I get, and even that's the other thing too. Sending our sons away. We can't be doing that. When my brother showed out, when my parents broke up, he was sent to military school. Sent away like to boarding school. He's bad. He was in pain. And my brother's still in pain, and he's almost 50. And I hate that. He don't even really speak to me or talk to me. It's been 20 years since our mother died. Let me see. Almost 20 years since our mother passed away. And I ain't really spoken to my brother. My mother put my brother in a lot of pain. Beating him, cussing him, talking to him like he was nothing. Body slam him. She abused him. I love my mother. This is not to down her. She gave him what she thought was needed to make him not be a jailbird, not be a bum. But that wasn't what he needed, man. He needed his father, but he just needed his mother to stay his mother. And I realized that today when Spirit told me, you are raping your son. And I was like, what? Say, yeah, your 2 minutes of power that you want to exert over him is stealing from him as well. He can't figure this out. He doesn't understand this. And I fell apart in that. So we rape a lot of different ways, more than using our sexual parts. Whenever you take your power and you lord it over another person, you're a rapist. I decree that I won't do that. I need help to not do that to my son. I was getting ready to say I won't do that again, but see, this is cellular memory that's operating from me. And I've got to come out of this space of how I was raised and raise my son better. I know how to do my mother very well. I know how to do that. I was conditioned in that for years. I don't really know how to do Goddess Seara because I'm figuring it out. And I'm figuring it out all when I was able to produce people before I was able to produce me. I was a mother at 17. I didn't have nothing but foolishness, and I gave it freely to my son. He's 28 and I'm watching him. He's doing a great job, but I also watch him give my grandsons foolishness because it's what I raised him in for the majority of his life. I was a child. And it's terrible that I was able to produce children as a child. And even my twins, they're 11, but I birthed them in a whole lot of pain. I think it's terrible that I have to say that I'm a woman that has been pregnant and never received love even in pregnancy. That's terrible, right? And yes, I was pregnant in my marriage. It's sad, right? With children that were supposedly planned, but my husband was very unhappy when they said, congratulations, you are pregnant, because he realized in that moment that he was broken. He told me, he said, when they told me, I became instantly terrified because I realized that I had nothing to give my children. And that hurt me. I was so terrified in my pregnancy, I dumped my children out at 25 weeks. That's energetic. Ladies, you can let them doctors tell you got a week, all that. No, I've had 6 miscarriages. You know why? Because I didn't really want to be a mother. Because I didn't think I was worthy of raising another person. I didn't have anything. So my husband saying that was a truthful space for me too. But guess what I had to do? I had to just dig in and be a mother. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't run away. He could run away, but I couldn't. You see what I'm saying? Because what would that look like? But now we got mothers running away. My son is a single father. Mothers are running away now. We got to get our community back. We've got to stand with each other. Stop all this foolishness and hatred and jealousy. This is stupid. Oh my God. We really going to do the house Negro and the field Negro in 2019 coming up? Stop that. Come on now. As he says, Goddess, the war cry that left my body. We can do our mothers very well. There's things, yeah. I could do Deborah, baby. You want some Deborah? I got it. I channel that energy and go berserk. You know? I channel my mother and I go berserk. I need to find Goddess Seara. Hey, Goddess Tracy. I got to find Goddess Seara. Because I've been doing my mother too long and I'm messing up my kids. You know? They need their mother and I'm doing my mother. I need the kings. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm glad I can cry with y'all because I don't want to do it by myself. I didn't intend to come on here and cry, but I'm tired. I'm sad. Our sons are in jail. Our sons are in the grave. Our daughters are prostitutes. Our daughters are drug addicts. Our daughters are raped and murdered in the street, duct taped together and thrown in the river, put in a car and dumped in a ravine like trash. Our children, ours, I don't care what you all want to focus on, but our children need us. And we are screwing up. Your kid got a 1.2, but they got $240 shoes on. Stop it. You want somebody to think you a good mother because you can buy some Jordans? Man, my mama would have bought your butt some Maypops until you had some decent grades around here. We're rewarding our children for foolishness. That don't make good parents, man. That makes jailbirds, murder victims, and murderers. We got to stop this. Our children are lacking compassion because they hear us talking about one another like dogs. They see us not loving each other, so they don't love. Come on, we're doing this. You know? Wasn't my intention. I just wanted to get on here and say, boom, but I got a lot that just needs to go. Goddess Trace say the mother wound is deep. It is. Thank you for being transparent. But you know what? The father wound is deep too. They just don't get to say nothing because mothers are always harping. But not letting a man see his kids because he don't want to see your butt, you trifling. Let that man raise his kids. He left you alone so that he could raise them. Let that man raise his kids. Sicking the police on a man every time he come around because he got somebody new. You lying and making up stuff. You trifling. Stop that. You're supposed to meet your man to drop the child off, and now you want to control how the child gets in the car seat. Get your ignorant behind in the car and get that man his child. What's wrong with you? It's good men out here. It's good men out here. Stop it. It is good men out here. It's wonderful men out here. I've had plenty of them, but I wasn't a wonderful woman, so I couldn't keep them. Hello. I can own that. I was a broken woman. So they had to go on somewhere. I'm not mad at any of them. Great friends with a lot of them. But I haven't had a bad man. I've had some bad experiences with men. But it was two people. It wasn't one person. It was two people. They were just experiences. But I can't sit by and watch this foolishness no more. I can't. I'm tired. We're more excited about what Dwight Howard does with his butt than his children. That's that man butt. He can do with it what he wants. But his children, though. Because guess what? When we can't wipe our own butt, it's going to be these kids that got to do it for us. And I promise you, let me die. I promise you. They don't have any compassion. They don't even have any care. A child the other day stomped a baby to death, a little girl. And she stomped the baby to death because she didn't want to get in trouble. She couldn't rationalize. She's 10. She couldn't rationalize that dropping the baby didn't mean to kill the baby. These are our children. They on TV calling her a murderer savage. She's a baby. And she doesn't have critical thinking skills. So she killed what she just hurt. Do you all get that? And you're going to put her in adult prison. The father was screaming, she's a murderer. She's a baby who didn't have critical thinking skills. All she wanted to do was not get in trouble. So you got to imagine what would drive a child to murder an innocent baby. What kind of trouble has she been in? We got to stop this. We got to stop promoting foolishness in our own community. We've got to stop rewarding our children's ill behavior with $300 shoes and $200 jerseys and all, because you don't feel good about yourself and you want somebody to think that you got it going on. You do got it going on. BS. It stinks. It's funky, and it's enough. I can expose my BS. Listen, I suck right now at parenting my son. I don't know what to do because I can't stop trying to control him. I want him to be a certain way, and he isn't. I want him to look a certain way, and he doesn't. I'm struggling with trying to control a little boy. What's wrong with me? I don't like the fact that he wants me to leave him alone. Ain't that something? What is wrong with you, God, Seara? He wants you to leave him alone because he don't like your energy. Go somewhere and sit down. But I can't help myself because I need to make sure that my son is solid, upstanding citizen. You know, what is that anyway if I kill him to produce it? God, as Rose says, oh, how I know this struggle of control. Yeah. How is my son a productive citizen if I've snatched all of his character, if I've snatched all of his love, if I've snatched all of his compassion? I do so freaking good with my daughter. It almost looks like I have a favorite, and I don't. I don't love any of my children any greater than the other. I do so good with my daughter. You know why? Because she's docile and she doesn't give me any lip. But my son is me, the male version. My son is not having it, and it makes me sick. And so then I turn into the alpha male that I somehow have stored in my DNA and act a stupid fool. And then I have to come back and I have to say, forgive me. And I realize that I don't have many more forgive me's left for his patience of my behavior. And so I'm asking any king out there, reach out. I'll let you inbox me for this. And I want to see how many of you will inbox me without asking for what's between my legs. And I may not expose your name, but if you do it, I'm going to come back on Grown Folks Business and I'm going to say 15 men contacted me and were willing to help me parent my son better as long as I was willing to have sex with him. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Okay, because I'm tired of this. When I ask a man for help, it should not require my body. It shouldn't. You should just want to help me so that another young man can grow up to be as great as you or greater than you. That's what it should be. And so I'm done with it. I'm going to put it out there. Goddess Seara is struggling to parent her son. Goddess Seara does not know how to give a young man what he needs. I don't even know what he wants. He don't want to kiss anymore. He doesn't want to hug anymore. What does he want? I don't know. He comes and asks me questions about his lingam, about the hair on his lingam. And I'm not embarrassed. I'm a sex therapist. But I don't think he really feels comfortable having to ask me that. King Joseph says, I'm relieved to see and hear a sister like you express themselves. Sadly, when anyone challenges our people to do better, we are cursed out. They get annoyed. You have my respect. Thank you, King. It sounds like your son has a warrior spirit. Yes, that's it. Full of untapped potential. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Edwin? He's there. Come here, please, so everybody can see you, because I'll bring my son on, you know. I'm not afraid of that space. Can you come here? This booger is giant. Stand up. He's only 10 years old. He's huge. He wears a size 10 shoe. Can you tell everybody what mom does that you can't stand? Just be honest.
Yell at me. What's the other things? What else do you do?
That's pretty much it. Yell and then grab a hold of you, right?
Hit me. And I feel like hitting you back, but I don't want to because I want to get put out.
You see that? He said, I feel like hitting you back. He didn't say I don't want to because you're my mother. He said, I don't want to because I don't want to get put out. You see? Because I've always told him, oh, Booger, you hit me and that's it. You be in the street. You this, that. King Joseph says, yes, you are a warrior. And so I'm thankful. See, what else? He said, Tim says you need to be in somebody's practice right now. Big boy money.
The next one is instructions that you already told me. And that's it.
The instructions that I already told you, what do you mean when I say it over and over and over and over and over and over again?
Yep.
And how, come in the camera so they can see you. And how do you feel when that's happening?
I feel upset. I go to my room and I'm mad.
You cuss me out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel respected or disrespected?
Disrespected.
And do you feel that that's the role of a mother?
No.
Y'all see that? So, you're right, King Joseph, he does have that warrior energy, and I thank you so much for recognizing that. And I don't know why that warrior infuriates this goddess, but I'm telling you, I just be like, what? You know, like I'm trying to kill his spirit. Why? Why am I trying to emasculate my son? What has society taught me about that that's okay? Well, ladies, what have we been beholding that told us that emasculation of our sons was proper? I thank you, King Joseph, for that. He does have great potential. And because I see that potential, I'm trying to get it, some like squeezing intestines or something. But that's not how that warrior wants to give me that potential. You know, I asked my trainer today, Quincy, I said, can you spend some time with my son? And he said to me, I have my own sons and I don't have time. I wasn't angry about that. And then I just shared with him a little bit more of what I needed. And then he said to me, I understand. I'm going to try to find out how we can make that happen. King Joseph says, yes, this society has taught us that being a man is a crime. Right there, brother. That's a show. But I need a man to do that show because I can't talk about that space, but you ain't never lied. The moment a black man exercises his power, he gets called the word combative. The moment a black woman exercises her power, she gets called a bitch. What is that about? He gets told that he's resisting. He gets told that he's combative. He gets told that he's menacing. What are these things? What are these words? And what have we heard as women that make us turn on our sons and act like that's what they're doing? My son is a warrior and he's 10 years old and he's pretty much a man. The dude wears a size 10 shoe. You know what I'm saying? He wears a size 10 shoe at 10. I wear a size 11 shoe. His dad wears a size 13, but we didn't wear it at 10. I'm scared by where his feet go. The doctor x-rayed him and said, I think he might be 6'6". I said, how? What am I going to do? He's already stronger than me. Why am I trying to control and break him? What is that about? I understand that, King Joseph. They are frightened of our power. I get that. But we definitely are going to have to exercise our power in a more productive way. We do a lot of counterproductive behaviors. We're going to have to exercise our power in a more productive way. Good grief, y'all. Do we have to sing and dance for every piece of chicken? Come on. Don't you want the bag so bad you're willing to degrade yourself and become a jigaboo again on TV? Come on, stop it. We got to be willing to say no to some money because they buying and selling our behinds like left and right. And that sounds like slavery to me, buying and selling us. They buying and selling us out here. You're laughing at my people. Yes, I'm a Hispanic woman. You're laughing at my people not being allowed to come into this country, but you when you was getting fire hoses, it wasn't funny. Listen, it's people. It's people being afflicted and mistreated out here. People, you call me brown. Listen, I'm a black woman. I speak the language of my oppressor. That's English and Spanish, okay? I don't know what my native tongue is. No, I'm not looking for a man. I have one, George. And what I'm saying is that what in society has caused us to want to beat the manhood out of our sons? That's what I'm asking. I don't know why my son's masculinity offends me. What's that about? Why does masculinity offend women, period? I don't understand. What have we been beholding that listen, women are offended by masculinity, period. Period. A man does something and all of a sudden it's a sexual offense. I mean, it's a difference between masculinity and femininity. There's a difference between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. See, that's a comment. I don't really want to take the comment out of context, but when a man says you looking for a man, he says, have you been looking for a man? No, I'm not looking for a man for me. I'm looking for men to show up and be the community that my son needs. My son has been looking for a man. That's who's been looking for one. He's been looking for the certain attributes. He's been looking for the certain attributes. I apologize, you all, that I didn't cut my phone off. He's been looking for the certain attributes. And so with that being said, I'm trying to control it because it's not the attributes that I recognize because he's not feminine. I don't recognize a lot of masculine attributes. Edwin or Amariah, can you please call your brother back? Goddess Tasha says, because many of us don't understand it in a positive way due to our upbringing and experiences.
I don't have one.
I think when children are disobedient, the parents can foresee the consequences and its severity. I understand that, Ansley, but that's the thing. My son not even disobedient. He is kicking against my authority of him, but he's a well-behaved, good child, good student, everything. I don't know why I'm trying to control him. There's a certain aspect of lazy in him that pricks me a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It pricks me a certain way. And so when I see that lazy, I get mad because I'm afraid that he's going to be a lazy man. And because I see so many men that appear to be lazy on the planet, it frightens me because I don't want my son to be lazy. And that's really the space that I'm trying to control. But for Pete's sake, he's 10. How much? What do I want the brother to do to go? You know, but I think it's because growing up at my age, I was working already at 10. I knew how to do way more than my son does. And my mother got that out of us by training us a certain way. And what I realized is that I didn't train my kids that way. I didn't train them that way. And so now I guess I would have to be mad at myself. That's what I would have to be. I have to be mad at myself. I didn't train my kids for certain results because my results came through abuses. And I didn't know how to train them for certain results without bringing abuse into it. So I didn't train them at all. Wow, I just got the answer to my problem. Thank you, Spirit. And she says, so when you try to gain control of the child, it's to save them from the world, criticize or harming the kids outside the house. It seems like that. Diorgen says, that's what I said. Sorry. Oh, you don't need to apologize, King. I don't want to take the context out of what you're saying, because we're not actually speaking. So I wasn't certain where that comment went, but no, I won't take that out of context. Like I said, I didn't have my children out in the street with somebody. I was a married woman and all those things, but life happened, we're both soldiers, wars, all of these things happened, and then separation and just a lot of things. And so King Joseph says it's because of social engineering that has caused the deep divide between men and women in our community. And you know what? That's exactly what I believe has happened. And so I think that we need to come out of this space. I think that this space, I'm tired of it. I can't take this space into 2019. I've changed right in this program. He says, I'm with you. This is very powerful, though. And I appreciate that, King. Thank you. You see, ladies, you see how I didn't really understand what the King was saying, but I didn't take it out of context and get upset. I hear him and I can recognize in some aspects what he's saying, but he wasn't saying anything to degrade me. You understand what I'm saying? He was just making an observation, and then I'm able to glean from that observation. And then I want to also say that, yes, in some ways, King, absolutely right. I said I wasn't looking for a man. That was that quick response, but you daggone right. I was, which is why I gave my body to so many of them so that they could show up in my life a certain way. I never stopped hurting from the day my daddy left. I never stopped hurting. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to fix that because my mother was hurting and I wasn't allowed to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And we don't get to go to therapy. It's a lot of stuff that we don't get to do because that ain't for us, so they say. And so I carried that pain of a 13-year-old girl into adulthood. And yeah, you're right. I was looking for a man. You're right. And any man would have done it at the time. Yeah, I can own that. You're absolutely right. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if that little girl wasn't operating still in a grown woman. I can't say that, but that's my 2 cents for today. This is like an impromptu grown folks business. I don't even know if I should post it, if it should just be for the people that were here. I don't really know. I'll think about it for a minute. It's not a space of wanting sympathy. I want answers, and it takes a village to get those answers. I don't have them all. Goddess Seara is powerful in her own right, but in the things that I'm pitiful in, I'm going to stand up and say, I'm pitiful right here. I need some help. I'm not above that because I want all my divinity to come forward. And in the shadow parts where I'm suffering, if I don't open my mouth, the word says, confess your faults that you can be healed. I got a fault right here. I'm struggling in a fault right here. And so I appreciate you all showing up for me today. I appreciate you all crying with me and letting me cry. I'm so thankful for the kings that came on here. I love y'all. I thank y'all so much for being here for me today and being here with me intellectually, spiritually, collectively, mentally, even though you weren't in person physically. I felt you all so much. King Joseph, I thank you. King Diorgen, I thank you. I thank you all so much for being a part of this. The goddess is always showing up. I thank you so much for that space. King Mike, King Tim, thank you so much. I appreciate the gods for showing up in my life. And I'm Seara Torres. And so don't inbox me on Grown Folks Business because that's automated. You can inbox me under my name, which is Seara Torres. And I would appreciate that. Any advice that you have on how to handle a young man, I appreciate that because I want to handle my son in my femininity, not in my contrived masculinity. It's an ugly space for me and I'm tired of bringing it forward. I want to heal that space so that my son can be healthy and whole. And even though I came on here and I started talking about rape, as I told you all, Spirit told me whenever you exercise your power over anybody, you're a rapist. And so I've been raping my son and I want to stop. I've been trying to take his masculinity. I've been trying to take his dignity. I've been trying to take his strength. I've been trying to take his power, all because I haven't been able to understand it. And so any of you kings that feel me and understand what I'm talking about, please inbox me and help me heal this space in my life so that I can help my son grow into the strong, powerful king that he is supposed to be, not the one that I'm trying to create. King Joseph, I appreciate you so much. You ain't but up the street, halfway meeting. I got that. And so thank you all so much. I'm still your hostess with the mostest, even the most tears. And with that being said, this was just an impromptu grown folks business. If you all think I should post this, let me know. I don't really know. It's deep, it's powerful, it's intimate. Don't really know if that's something that I want out or if that's just something that went to the 20 people that were here with me. I don't know. But I guess I'll ask myself really quick if this is something that everyone needs to hear. I don't really know. But I'm just at a loss today with myself, not anybody else, just myself. And I want to stop trying to exercise my power over people that seem to be smaller than me in every way, shape, or form. That's even grown-ups, Everybody on this planet, we're growing. We've got to have respect for that. Just because someone isn't where you are doesn't give you the right to rape them. So stop it. And I'm going to start with me. So I'm going to stop it. I make a declaration to no longer be a rapist on this planet. I'm not going to exercise my power over another person. Not my children, not my friends, not my frenemies, not anybody. I'm going to walk in my power and my authority and leave my life with my life and stay out of other people's. That's it. And King Joseph says, for now, keep it private until you feel better about presenting it to the public. I think so too, King. I think it just was a very intimate space that Spirit took it, for our community. And I don't want people to misunderstand what that is. It's not about hiding. It's just about ignorance in America. People just not on this level. And I feel that everyone that was on the level was here. And that's where I'm at with that. So I love y'all. I appreciate you. I like you, and I'll see you Tuesday, prayerfully for Grown Folks Business, live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace and Goddess Grace. Goddess Salika says, thank you for your transparency, unconditional love for you and your son, and your awareness of yourself. I'm moved to separate from the confines of your mind. Change is here. I know that's right, Goddess. Goddess Renee says, I think it's public. I just got asked about you. Oh, you mean, is it public already? Or you think I should post it public, Goddess? Which one? I love you too, Goddess Salika. Big time. Goddess Renee, or is it Rena? I had a girlfriend named Rena that was R-E-N-A. And then I had a girlfriend named Renee that was R-E-N-A. So I hope by saying Renee, I'm pronouncing it properly. It's public right now, but when I hang up, I have the opportunity to not post it. And so, right now, many people can see it, but that doesn't mean that it'll be available for them to see it once I hang up from you all. It asked me. Thank you, Ansley. Love you too. And you have a great night to everybody here. So peace and Goddess Grace. Bye-bye.